Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy RHOA, and we are back with another video. Y'all, we back. Listen, in today's video, I got a whole lot of news for y'all, and I just went down the Housewives franchises, and I got it all for y'all, because it's so much going on. But you know, of course, we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta ladies first, and then we're going to get into some Real Housewives of Orange County, Real Housewives of New Jersey, and Real Housewives of Potomac news. So you gotta sit tight through all of this because you wanna catch it all. It's so much popping off, and I'm gonna give it to you all right now. But first, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button, because listen, it's always going down over here. We're doing all things pop culture, reality TV, specifically Housewives and Basketball Wives and that sort of thing. So let's get into this, shall we? So as you guys may know, and I told you last week, that both Kandi and Nene would be in Washington, D.C. at the same time. So it's highly likely that filming has already begun with those two camps. Now, Nene was in D.C., well, Maryland specifically, for the opening of Swagg Boutique in the MGM Grand, which is located in the National Harbor. Now, she also brought with her Marlo Hampton and Yovanna Love. The word on the street is that Yovanna is going to be a lot more active with the ladies this year, and I'll do a separate story and video on that because I have a lot of other casting news to talk about in another video, so be on the lookout for that. Now, Kandi was also in town for the Welcome to the Dungeon tour stop. So everybody was in DC from the right side of the couch from the reunion. So that's Nene, Marlo, Kandi, and Shamari. So this is interesting with the addition of Yovanna Love. Now, let's get into something interesting that happened because Nene jumped on her social media and wished Kandi a happy birthday and said that she hopes that she sees her tonight. So for me, I'm thinking to myself, this is real interesting. But I wasn't the only person that thought that. Hollywood Life picked it up, and I'm gonna read y'all what they had to say about the matter. Let's get into it. All right, so it says, despite recently feuding, Nene Leakes invited Kandi Burrruss to the opening of her stores in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. We've learned exclusively the long and terrible war is finally coming to an end. Nene Leakes is ending her huge feud with her Real Housewives of Atlanta co-star Kandi Burrruss a little bit at a time, and their friendship is almost back to normal. Nene actually invited Kandi to the opening of her MGM store in Washington, D.C. on May 17th and genuinely hoped she'd attend, a source close to the cast told Hollywood Life. While Kandi didn't go to the party, she was honestly happy to hear from Nene and be invited. Kandi's proud of Nene, and she always likes to support her friends, even if her friends have beef with her. Nene hasn't been getting along with most of the ladies, and as Kandi recently explained, it's likely because she was upset that they invited Kenya Moore to one of Cynthia Bailey's parties. As fans know, Nene and Kenya, a former cast member who had been on the show for 5 seasons, never really got along. Nene started sparring with her co-stars and unfollowed them on social media. Kandi told 2Fab that she felt like that was an attack on her, which it wasn't. But it's all cooling down, and Kandi couldn't be happier that her friend is feeling better. Kandi never understood why Nene was so upset with her in the first place, and since filming begins soon, actually it's already started, she was happy to get back on the same page. She knows Nene's been through a lot with Greg, who Kandi adores, and was so happy to hear he's cancer-free. She's hoping they'll be able to move past whatever this was, and that this will open the door for moving forward in their long-standing friendship. As for the other women, Nene still hasn't called a truce. If Nene's invite wasn't enough proof that she's ending her feud with Kandi, the fact that she publicly wished her a happy birthday might do the trick. Nene posted a goofy pic of herself and Kandi together in happier times on Instagram and captioned it, "Happy birthday, Kandi. This is my absolute fave pic of us that I always love to post. It describes our relationship perfectly. Hope to see you tonight." Yep, they partied all night to celebrate Kandi's 43rd. Okay, so this is something I'm always happy to see, people reconcile and get past their differences. But it just seems so interesting to me that this is happening at this point in time. Mostly because Nene was really on the warpath against Cynthia and Kandi after the reunion. I mean, she was basically saying that Kandi wasn't important. She was talking about that they were all in an alliance together. Does she still believe that? And if she's not mad at Kandi, why is she still mad at Cynthia? At this point in time, you can't be mad. I mean, it's like you're mad at one person for the same thing that you're not mad at another person about now. So what's going on? So does this mean that she's maybe mending fences with everybody, including Cynthia and Kenya and Porsha? Only time will tell. I feel like the door is firmly closed with Porsha. I also feel like it's still probably firmly closed with Cynthia as well. But I'm just trying to understand it all. Do y'all think that this is like, is it real? Is the beef not real, or is it made for TV? Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I am quite clueless. All right. Another interesting tidbit from this past weekend was that we had what looks like it could be a potential Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac crossover. Let me ask y'all a question. Would y'all be here for a crossover event on Housewives similar to what they did with How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal? Honestly, I think that this is something that Bravo needs to start looking into, crossing paths with Housewives franchises, because Real Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac make sense to have some sort of crossover. And I think that season 12 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta would be the perfect way to introduce it. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity, because at Nene's event, Monique, Candace, Charisse, Karen Huger, as well as Giselle all attended her opening. She had a private opening on Friday, and then she had a public opening on Saturday. The ladies were all at the private opening, but then Charisse also helped the day of with the public opening. So this to me is the makings of something quite amazing right now. And the Real Housewives of Potomac ladies were also in attendance at Kandi's Dungeon event. So you had Giselle there, you had Candace there, you had Karen there, you also had Monique there as well. All of them looking good, all of them supporting Kandi, and they even brought their husbands. So this is quite interesting, and I would like to see a lot more of this. Let me know down in the comments if this is something that you guys would like to see more of. Now, I want to get into something else that was supposed to happen this weekend, which was Porsha's Sip and See, and it was supposed to be filmed. Well, a lot of the ladies were out of town this weekend, so it was kind of touch and go as to whether or not it would be filmed. But before that happened, both Porsha and Eva supported Tanya at an event. I think it was a charity event for Tanya this past weekend. Now that happened, I think, on Saturday. But the Sip and See was supposed to be on Sunday, and it was supposed to be a larger gathering. Now, production was iffy about that from what I'm told. And then at the last minute, they decided to actually go through with it because, again, a lot of the ladies were out of town. So you would have had a big moment where a lot of the ladies came together. Now, who were the ladies that were out of town? Well, obviously, Marlo was out of town. Kandi was out of town. Also out of town would have been Phaedra. Now, Phaedra was on the West Coast attending Gretchen Rossi baby shower. And as you guys will know, Gretchen Rossi was once a housewife of Orange County. Now, a lot of old housewives were in attendance at this event, and Phaedra was one of them. So she obviously opted to go to Gretchen's event instead of going to Porsha's, which to me is kind of interesting because I would have thought that they might have been closer, and if she had the opportunity to possibly film, I would have thought she would have taken it, particularly if she was supposedly in negotiations to come back for this season. But we clearly see where her loyalties lie, and there's nothing wrong with that. She wants to support her girl, let her go support her girl. So apparently private scenes were filmed with Porsha and several of the ladies. And my guess is that one of those ladies was probably Kenya Moore. We haven't seen any photos come out from this event yet, But once we do, guys, I will post it right here. And just to touch on the Real Housewives of Orange County, since we did bring up Gretchen, for those of you Orange County fans, we've got some interesting news for you because they just wrapped filming for the new season, which is season 14. And allegedly, according to Emily Simpson, who was one of the cast members on the show, the new season will begin on August 6th. So be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, they ended the season with Vicki's engagement party. But the scandal is this. Sources are saying that Vicki Gunvalson, who is the OG of all the housewives, the OG of every housewife city, was demoted to a friend for this season, for season 14. So, and the reason why they're saying that is because they are saying that she was not participating in the cast photo shoot. No, apparently she was there, but she did not photograph with the ladies for the larger group photo, which is what they usually do. Now, as you guys will remember, a lot of you Housewives of Atlanta fans, both Marlo and Tanya also took photos that same day or that in that same fashion. So we're assuming that Vicki did the same thing, and she will be featured as a friend this year. But we'll be able to get more of that when we get our first teaser of the Real Housewives of Orange County, which I'm gonna assume will be sometime in late June, okay? So be on the lookout for that. All right, so I wanna move on to Real Housewives of Potomac. I was going to dedicate an entire video to this recap, but in light of doing that, I felt like this is more of a one subject opportunity, okay? So the one subject that I really want to just talk about is the thing that's actually heating up the most right now on Real Housewives of Potomac is I feel like they're setting us up for this whole Michael alleged butt grabbing incident, because in this episode here, we see him doing a little bit of like, it could almost be considered like flirtatious, like fawning over this guy who I think was a bartender at the party that they had for Ashley's uncle on this week's episode. And we hear Robin say, I heard him say, I would suck his dick. Right, okay? This was coming from Michael. Michael also said to production during a hot mic moment that he feels like he might have said things that he regretted, so he was happy his mic wasn't working. Now, Bravo is obviously putting the pieces for us together, okay? They're just putting these pieces together. And I'm here for it, to be very honest with you. I am here for it. Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, I do not like when housewives try to make a husband gay, or they try to insult him by calling him gay. The problem is, now I don't like that, but the problem is Michael has taken actions that would lead them down that path. So this is not something they're just pulling out of the air. This is something that's actually happening. He's actually taking strange actions that are somewhat abnormal in those settings, right? Now, we can argue that people in sports, you know, they pat each other's booties all the time, right? Whatever. But in this situation, the things that he's saying or doing can be easily misconstrued. Do I think that this man is gay? I think there's a possibility that he could be bisexual, to be very honest with you. And I think that there's a possibility that she's okay with it. I don't know them. I was supposed to interview them for a show that I was on, but we couldn't make it work because she was pregnant at the time. But let me just let y'all know. That's just what I think. I think that there's nothing wrong with it if she's fully aware of it. And maybe she just doesn't want to put that information out there. But, you know, Ashley's a character who really kind of puts a lot of her life out there, which is what I love about her. But at the same time, it's like, given his actions or given things that the castmates are saying about him, I just kind of feel like maybe it's time to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't want to just say that about somebody because, listen, if he's not, it's just he's doing odd things, okay? He's doing very odd things. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Actually, let me know what y'all think about all of these stories in the comments. Are you guys here for Nene and Kandi making up, but not Nene and Cynthia or Nene and Porsha? What do y'all think about that? Is that fair? Is that right? What's the motive here? You know, I'm kind of glad to see them back on the same page, but I'm just like, Wasn't we just talking crazy about her last week? I don't know. You know, would you guys be here for a Real Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac crossover? Are you guys excited about Real Housewives of Orange County? Are you watching that show at all? Also, what do you think about Michael? Is the man gay or not? I mean, I'm just curious. What do y'all think? Y'all comment down below. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button if you haven't. We're coming at y'all with Housewives news every day, okay? Every day. That's what we're doing here on this channel. And y'all follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJRichieSkye. And guess what? I will catch y'all in the next video.